You think you know Miami, beaches, nightlife, and flashy city life? But what if I told you there's a wild, untouched side of Miami most people skip right over? Hidden gardens, tropical trails, secret lagoons, and peaceful wildlife sanctuaries, all just minutes from the noise. In this video, we're taking you beyond South Beach into 10 of the most beautiful, little-known natural spots in Miami that feel like a jungle escape right inside the city. Ready to see the Miami no one talks about? Before we dive in, here's a travel tip that can save you a lot in Miami. When exploring Miami's hidden nature spots, start early in the morning, not just to beat the heat, but to catch wildlife at its most active. Birds, manatees, and even butterflies are easiest to spot just after sunrise. Also, always carry mosquito repellent and wear closed-toe shoes. Some of these spots are beautiful, but wild. Now let's explore Miami's most beautiful destinations. We start just south of Coral Gables at Matheson Hammock Park Lagoon, a place that feels frozen in time. What seems like a simple waterfront park is actually a carefully engineered tidal lagoon, one that's fed directly from Biscayne Bay and maintained entirely by the natural rise and fall of the ocean. Built by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s, the park was originally designed as a public recreation space that would blend seamlessly with South Florida's coastal landscape, and it still does. Unlike most city beaches, there are no waves here, just a calm, circular pool surrounded by thick mangroves and leaning palms. It's peaceful, and the water level remains consistent, making it ideal for families, older visitors, photographers, or solo travelers seeking a quiet afternoon swim. On quiet mornings, the mirror-like surface captures the sky's pastel colors, while egrets walk the shore just a few feet away. But there's more to explore beyond the water. A hidden trail system winds around the park's edges, leading to scenic lookouts and shaded picnic groves that few tourists stumble upon. You'll also find a historic coral rock pavilion and a marina with views of the bay where locals dock after fishing runs. The park even has a small, often overlooked beach facing the open water, ideal for shell collecting and uninterrupted views of downtown Miami in the distance. Just a short drive, we head north to a place that barely makes it onto postcards, but offers something rare in Miami: true wilderness. Oleta River State Park, located in North Miami Beach, spans over 1,000 acres, making it the largest urban park in the entire state. Yet, most visitors to Miami have never even heard of it. What makes Oleta special isn't just its size, it's the variety of ecosystems packed inside. The park is defined by its dense mangrove forests, saltwater creeks, hardwood hammocks, and native pine rockland. It offers nearly 15 miles of off-road biking and hiking trails that snake through these habitats, where you can see everything from gopher tortoises and iguanas to roseate spoonbills and the occasional manatee. But the highlight here is the water trail system. Renting a kayak or paddleboard puts you into a completely different world. One where mangrove roots dangle into the water and tight passageways feel like tunnels carved by nature. The tides control how deep you go, and some routes are so narrow you'll need to pull your paddle in and drift. Unlike popular beaches, Oleta offers quiet, uninterrupted time in nature. The western side of the park features a hidden beach where you can relax after paddling, and the nearby cabins offer rustic overnight stays for those wanting more than a day trip. There's no loud music here, no high-rises, just the quiet hum of the forest and the soft rhythm of water against your boat. Located in the historic neighborhood of Coconut Grove lies one of the most overlooked botanical sites in the entire country, the Kampong. Unlike other gardens designed for public leisure, the Kampong is a living archive, once the private residence and research ground of renowned horticulturist Dr. David Fairchild. He spent decades traveling to Southeast Asia, South America, and the South Pacific, collecting thousands of rare plant species, many of which now flourish within these 9 acres. Stepping through the iron gates, you're immediately surrounded by an extraordinary mix of tropical trees and flowering species. Mango, jackfruit, and baobab trees tower overhead, while deep purple orchids and fragrant frangipanis bloom underfoot. But this isn't just a pretty collection. Fairchild's work helped shape America's agricultural landscape. Some of the foods we eat today, avocados, mangoes, even kale, were first studied right here at the Kampong before entering national markets. Visitors can walk shaded trails that loop through the collection, view the original 1920s house preserved with much of its historical design, and learn how plants were introduced, tested, and shared with farmers across the country. It's a quiet space by appointment only, which adds to its intimate and almost forgotten atmosphere. Educational signs are placed throughout, offering background on how each plant came to Miami, how it grows, and what role it plays in biodiversity today. It's more than a garden. It's a living timeline of global botanical exchange. Out beyond the coastline of Biscayne National Park, rising from the shallow teal waters of Biscayne Bay, sits a place so strange, most locals don't even know it exists: Stiltsville. This collection of pastel-colored wooden homes stands on stilts about a mile offshore, each perched above the water, unreachable by land and only accessible by boat. To the untrained eye, they might look like abandoned fishing shacks, but the story behind them reveals a long-lost chapter of Miami's offshore culture. Stiltsville began in the 1930s when a few locals built simple structures above the sandbanks for recreational fishing. Over the decades, it evolved into a floating society of leisure clubs, gambling dens, and private getaways. During Prohibition, it became a place for secret parties where rum flowed and cards were dealt away from prying eyes. By the 1960s, over 24 stilt houses stood in the water, hosting everything from Miami's elite to rogue adventurers. Today, only 7 remain. Most were destroyed by hurricanes or decay, but the survivors are protected under the care of the National Park Service. While you can't freely enter the houses, you can book a guided boat tour that takes you within arm's reach of the structures. The silence is striking, just wind, water, and the creaking of old beams. Have you been to Miami, or is it on your bucket list? What secret spots are you most excited to explore? Or maybe you've already found a hidden gem of your own. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your stories, tips, or questions. Our next stop is on Key Biscayne, but not where most people go. Crandon Park is well known for its beaches and family picnic areas, but few ever explore its hidden garden, located deep within the old zoo grounds, past the crowds and far from the shoreline. What remains is a remnant of Miami's early tropical vision, a quiet sanctuary where massive kapok trees stretch skyward, and old coral rock walls hint at a time when the park was once home to exotic animals and botanical experiments. Walk through its inner paths, and you'll come across wild peacocks strolling freely, overgrown stone staircases, and tree canopies so thick they block out the sun. There's no signage, no tour guides, just a series of quiet, shaded clearings where you can pause, breathe, and let the buzz of the city fall away. Many locals call this the Forgotten Garden, because even though it's public land, it feels like a secret passed down by word of mouth. Crandon's hidden garden isn't manicured. It's raw, a little eerie, and incredibly peaceful. You'll find lizards darting through brush and rare birds overhead, especially in the early morning. The garden is also one of the best spots in Miami to see native strangler figs and hardwood hammock ecosystems that once covered this barrier island. Placed between neighborhoods and highways in North Miami is one of the city's most unexpected green spaces, the Enchanted Forest Elaine Gordon Park. The name may sound like a fairy tale, but this 22-acre urban forest lives up to it in ways most Miami parks don't. It's not landscaped, it's not busy, and that's what makes it special. Once you pass the small playground and cross the wooden footbridge, the world changes. The trail winds through a dense canopy of oak trees, mahogany, and sable palms, with native undergrowth crowding the edges of the path. Along the way, you'll spot butterflies, woodpeckers, turtles, and, yes, peacocks roaming the grounds freely. The park also features a creek that flows through the center, and on quiet days, you can hear its soft trickle echo through the trees. Unlike Miami's more curated spaces, this park is left mostly in its natural state, giving visitors a genuine sense of what South Florida's jungle once looked like. A small horse stable operates nearby, and during the afternoons you might see children on horseback walking slowly through the trails. The forest is so thick in places that sunlight barely filters in, casting a dim, cool glow over the paths, a rare relief in Miami's heat. The city feels miles away, though you're right in the middle of it. In North Miami, hidden between residential neighborhoods and highways, lies one of the most historically significant but least visited sites in South Florida, Arch Creek Park. At just under 10 acres, it's easy to miss. But the stories beneath your feet here go back hundreds of years. This land was once a key settlement site for the Tequesta tribe, one of Florida's earliest known indigenous peoples. Archaeologists have found tools, pottery, and burial sites in the area, confirming its use as a ceremonial and trade hub. What makes the park especially unique is the natural limestone bridge, a geological rarity in Florida. It spans the creek that runs through the park and was once a key crossing point for Native Americans, early pioneers, and settlers. It's not man-made, but the result of water carving through limestone for centuries. Today, the park offers a small nature center, shaded walking paths, and signage that explains its deep cultural roots. The surrounding forest, made up of live oaks, gumbo limbo, and native palms, is a living snapshot of pre-development Florida. You'll likely hear the rustle of squirrels or the distant call of a red-shouldered hawk, but otherwise it's quiet, untouched. Despite its small size, Arch Creek Park preserves a piece of South Florida that's almost vanished. While it's technically just outside Miami, in Davie, Treetops Park is worth every minute of the short drive. Covering 243 acres, this park offers one of the most immersive and elevated nature experiences in South Florida, literally. What sets Treetops apart is its network of elevated boardwalks and observation towers that lift you above the jungle floor, giving you a canopy-level view of oak hammocks, wetlands, and cypress sloughs. From the moment you enter, you're surrounded by towering live oaks draped in moss, expansive freshwater marshes, and miles of trails that shift between open prairies and dense jungle. The air is thick with the sound of birdsong, frogs, and wind rustling through leaves. The park's elevated trail system allows visitors to walk above the swamps and gain a perspective you rarely get in Florida, one that feels wild, open, and unconfined. Treetops also plays an important role in local ecology. It's a protected green space that supports dozens of native and migratory species. Birdwatchers regularly spot hawks, owls, and even the occasional bald eagle here. The horse trails and kayak launches add even more options for exploring the park's many habitats. But the highlight? the observation tower, where a panoramic view of untouched wetland and forest stretches out in every direction. It's here that you understand why the park is called Treetops. Most people recognize Hobie Beach as a hotspot for windsurfing and skyline selfies. But what few know is that just past the bustling boardwalk, beyond the rental shacks and picnic tables, lies a hidden stretch of shoreline that offers a completely different experience: the secluded end of Hobie Island Beach Park. This area, situated toward the southernmost tip of the Rickenbacker Causeway, is free from vendors, tourists, and high-energy activity. Instead, you'll find quiet trails, shaded mangrove paths, and small patches of soft sand with some of the clearest shallow waters in the city. The water here remains calm due to the protection of the surrounding bay and mangrove roots, creating perfect conditions for wading, collecting conch shells, or spotting rays gliding just below the surface. What makes this part of Hobie unique isn't just the solitude, it's the view. Turn one way, and you'll see downtown Miami rising beyond the water. Turn the other, and it's nothing but open sea and sailboats. Few visitors venture this far on foot, and those who do often find themselves with an entire shoreline to themselves. There are no signs pointing you here, no marked trailhead. You follow the sand, the sound of lapping water, and the sway of the trees. It's the kind of place you only find if you know to look. In North Miami Beach, far from the trendy cafes and coastal gloss, Greynolds Park feels like an echo from another time. Originally developed in the 1930s as part of the New Deal's Civilian Conservation Corps projects, the park still bears the marks of its past: coral stone structures, hand-built pavilions, and jungle paths that twist through native forest. It's one of the few remaining parks in Miami that balances recreation with historic preservation and ecological conservation. Spread over 265 acres, Greynolds offers a mix of habitats: oak hammocks, mangrove wetlands, pine flatwoods, and a hidden lagoon. You can follow narrow dirt trails that curve beneath thick foliage or climb the limestone mound, a man-made hill that provides one of the highest lookouts in South Florida. From the top, the view stretches above the trees, giving you a rare sense of elevation in an otherwise flat landscape. Wildlife thrives here too. Expect to see herons, turtles, iguanas, and flocks of migratory birds, especially during spring and fall. The air smells of damp earth and crushed leaves, and the deeper you go, the quieter it becomes. Except for the rustling of animals in the brush and the hum of insects in the canopy above. Greynolds is a space where history, ecology, and quiet exploration meet. It's not just a park, it's a preserved piece of Miami that hasn't given in to the rush of modern development. And if you're planning more adventures this year, don't stop here. Check out our next video 10, Beautiful Hidden Gems in Florida No One Talks About. It is packed with real travel insights to help you go beyond the guidebook. Click here to watch it now, and we'll see you in the next one.